Hey everybody, this is Matthew Movies coming at you again with another one in my reaction series. This time I'm going to be talking about Neighbors 2, Sorority Rising, the sequel to Neighbors that came out in 2014, I believe. Well, a lot of the cast, well, most of the cast is back, if at least to some degree. Seth Rogen, Rose Byrne, Dave Franco, Christopher Mintz-Plasse. I'm trying. I can't. Zac Efron. I drew a blank on him for a moment. And then they introduced Chloe Grace Moretz and Selena Gomez has a very, very tiny role at the beginning. Yeah, just to give you an idea, I liked the first one. I thought it was pretty funny. I thought there was lots of creative stuff in it. I loved all the pranks that they pulled on one another. I thought they were really, really creative, and some of them were quite hilarious. Like the airbags were quite funny, and the situation was well set up. I thought they went too far with it occasionally. Like I wouldn't call it like one of my all-time favorites, or even like one of my favorites. So, it's just a movie that I thought was solid and enjoyable. So then I decided, so that's why I wanted to watch the sequel, and didn't like it as much. I think a lot of the reason why is just because it felt like, yeah, it's funny because in a sequel you want to get the kind of the similar beats per se, but like you don't want to just do the exact same thing again. And with the exception of spoilers, with the exception of Zac Efron working with the couple now to take down the sorority, wasn't too much really that was different in this movie. I mean, there was the fact that some of the guys from the frat were, shown having moved on with their life and that kind of thing. But that's just barely at the beginning, and at the end, the majority of the movie is just this couple in a prank war again against this time a bunch of girls. And I felt, and the thing is too, is I felt like the sorority characters were pretty weak. Chloe, I thought, was solid, as she usually is, but all the rest of them, like in the original movie, you had Dave Franco, who's always entertaining, and McLovin, and a number of others that were kind of just background, right? Whereas in this one, it's Chloe and then a bunch of background characters. I mean, there's 2 or 3 that get several lines, but they're never really given much of a character. It's pretty much just the Chloe Grace Moretz show, and like, I don't know, the thing was too is like a lot of the pranks were pretty similar. Like it's just, I don't know, it just wasn't, I didn't feel there was anything overly creative about it. I mean, I still enjoyed it. I thought it was good. Like it's not a movie that I'd say like stay away from for anybody, and I'm sure there are lots of people who would love it. I just didn't think it was a very creative follow-up. It was just, let's do the exact same thing again almost, but with slightly different characters. I did like, again, spoilers, I did like the fact that the major difference really with the sorority over the frat was that the sorority was all about like wanting to basically be treated equally to the frat. I thought that was an interesting element. I had no idea that apparently, according to the Greek council for like that run all these sororities and frats, that sororities aren't supposed to throw the parties that the frats are supposed to. And when they said that, I was like, that can't be right. And I looked it up, and yeah, that's the case, and that's pretty ridiculous. So I thought that was an interesting aspect to it. But again, like that, again, it was just, occasionally they would throw in a line about that. It wasn't. It was all down to just basically like who can come up with this prank, and the pranks weren't overly creative or funny on either side. There was some pretty stuff that I thought was pretty goofy. There's a extended scene where they're running around with a bag of pot that. I mean, there was nothing funny about it. Just people running with a bag of pot. Like, I'm not 15. I'm not like, ooh, weed. You know, so I don't know. Let me, if you saw it, let me know what you think, and if you're new to the channel, please subscribe and keep coming back. So that's it. Have a nice day.